Are we ready for the Lepftee Report there, Silent Partner? Okay, we are. So let's go ahead and get him in here and see what he's got. And if this is the first time you listen to the show, hey, go into your seats because this is a pretty wild segment. So with that being said, let's get my man Lepftee in there. Lepftee, what's up, kid?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I am stuck on 240 in traffic in Memphis, but as always, the show must go on.
Absolutely.
What's good? What's good, Drew? Looking like a young Freddie Boom Boom Washington off Welcome Back, Kotter. Hi there.
I'm doing my
best.
What's
up, Jerry? My bona fide Beige Bears Brigadier broadcasting blogger. How are you, Beige brother? Doing all right?
I'm chilling, fam. What's good with you?
Okay. All right. Oh, it's nothing much, man. Looking like a piece of French toast over there, I'm sure. Look, the song you're hearing in the background is High Five, the Kissing Game, another summertime favorite. Now, I would hear this song whenever I saw my high school crush, Tiffany, walking down the hallway to her third period. Now, her honors English class was next to my general math class, but damn, what painful memories. Now, this week is packed with a lot in the sports world. And just like the tennis skirt on Serena Williams, I have a whole lot to cover. Speaking of Serena Williams, she and her sister, Venus, were eliminated from Wimbledon. And hopefully this will piss them off, and they'll get back to playing angry tennis. Maybe it's the inner perv in me, but I like hearing the moans after they hit my balls. After they hit the tennis balls. Excuse me. Now, Drew?
Yes.
Our favorite cheater was rewarded with an extension and a raise. The Big Blue Machine, Kentucky, gave Coach John Calipari a new incentive-based contract worth approximately $40 million in efforts to keep him in Lexington and not vote to the NBA. Now, I know Jim Tressel is at home like, damn, how the hell did he do it? Now, Charlotte's Hornet David West may go the opposite direction of his last name and test the East Coast NBA free agent market. And Pat Summitt was inducted into the University of Tennessee Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Big whoop. Like we didn't know that was going to happen. Also, drawing an unemployment check and staying at home watching the kids, not paying for an empty stadium is not cute. So the NFL players and the Billionaire Boys Club started talking civil to each other, and it looks like we may have a season. An abbreviated one, but a season nonetheless. And my last little tidbit, my first place American League Central Detroit Tigers retired the number of the man that gave them their first Major League championship. Captain Hook, a.k.a. Sparky Anderson, cared about his players as people, not just baseball players. He also believed in paying for talent, sort of like the ex-mayor Kwame Kilpatrick paid for a booty at the House of Cheek strip club. But enough with the appetizers. Let's move on to the main course. As always, it is Tuesday, and it's time for the articulate affirmation, the imaginative expose, the vital recital, the macho manifesto, known as the Lepftee Report. Now, this is where we talk big balls and bad calls in my attempt to ease your sports withdrawal. I am your rover reporter on my cell. I say what others think and always give them hell. I'm your first start on Blog Talk, the Crimson and Cream on Ustream, the best bet on the internet. The handsome dude on YouTube, swag so huge it can't fit in the hefty. I'm always right. So they call me Lepftee. Now, since we got my long introduction out of the way, let's get into the main course, shall we? Let's go ahead, Silent Part. Hey, now this week, I'll be talking about the following topics. Swagger versus sensible, quiet on the set, can I make payment arrangements, and money to oh, let's get it on. First quarter, swagger versus sensible. Stewardess, I'll have a bag of peanuts, a cup of apple juice, and a belt, please. That should have been the conversation Deshaun Marmon was having with the flight attendant. A pair of revealing pajama-style pants worn by the University of New Mexico football star led to his arrest and removal from the airplane in San Francisco. Marmon, 20, was boarding the U.S. Airways flight to Albuquerque when the airline employee noticed his pants were, quote, below his buttocks and his boxer shorts were showing. After he exchanged words with the airline employee about the tone she spoke to him in, Merriman took his seat and was in the process, y'all, of pulling up his pants. That's when the San Francisco PD rolled up on a brother, arrested, and jailed him. Now, he was charged with trespassing, battery of a police officer, obstruction, and IBIB. You guys know what IBIB is, right?
I don't.
Oh, it's because I'm black. Check it. Now, I'm torn on this issue. The swagger part of me says, when I was young, I had airbrushed sexual innuendos on my overalls, and girls would slit holes in the butt of their Levi's and walk around with their underwear exposed. And if we were lucky, we got to see a cheek. Y'all remember that?
I do remember that.
But now we all as teenagers and other young kids went through phases. And don't get me wrong, if you say you didn't, you know you did. I think the airline was wrong. This kid just wanted to catch his flight, and he wasn't hurting anyone. Now, the sensible part of me says, if he would have pulled up his pants when he was told to, probably repeatedly, that never would have been a problem. I hate this so-called gross, offensive style. Now, the origins of it is from prison populations. You know, when Big Bubba and them would get the late-night munchies, and he would have easy access. So how is this considered cool and trendy? You know what, guys? I think I'm going to go with number 2. Sensible wins. In the words of General Platt, pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Pull them up. Let's go to second quarter. I took you back with this one. I know I blew the dust off this one.
Yeah,
Second
you
quarter,
did.
quiet on the set. Now, he took a pounding on the field, guys. He was famous in San Francisco for the spectacular catch across the middle. He got the hell knocked out of him and still held on to the ball. One of the best yard receivers in the game. Yards after carry. I'm talking about the body himself, Terrell Owens. But now Owens tore his ACL, but not on the football field. This motherfucker right here, he gets hurt on the set of a movie doing a guest appearance film for the VH1 reality show Single Ladies, where he plays the love interest of my ex-girlfriend, Stacey Dash. Now, the coaches said those TV shows will be the death of his career. Now, you know he was embarrassed because he had corrective surgery on the low. Talk about quiet on the set. Now, I know Steve Smith of the Carolina Panthers somewhere is saying, thank you. Smith was hurt playing football when he broke his arm. It was flag football, but at least it was football. Now, I'm a T.O. fan, and I hope he can go ahead and rehab and come back in mid-season and sign with a contender and not a pretender. FYI, the mother of one of his daughters, guys, stays in Detroit. And could you imagine him on one side and Megatron on the other? Wow. Only time will tell. Now, here we go. Halftime. Now, this is the 8 o'clock hour, and if you are just tuning in, don't adjust your radio or shake your computer screen. You listen to the Lepftee Report. I'm Lepftee, your roving reporter, dropping a dime, giving you sports with a twist on the Cliche Men's Hotline. And right about now, it's halftime. Roll it, silent partner. Oh, that's my Rick Ross impression, y'all. Oh. Now listen, Eddie Curry. Back in April, to everyone's surprise, the Miami Heat considered signing free agent Eddie Curry. Now, the massive center, who reportedly weighs well above 300 pounds, has dealt with a lot of personal loss in the murder of his girlfriend and daughter and financial problems off the court. He's only played 10 games combined since 2007, 2008, and he's a giant red flag in every sense of the word. Well, old Gangsta Pat is at it again in an attempt to create some toughness around Greasy Lip Wade, Crybaby Bosh, and the magician. You know he's a magician because he disappears in the fourth quarter, right? The Heat and Curry and other NBA cast-offs, they're working them out. Now, if you look at the present picture of Curry, talk about blowing money fast. If the Heat wanted to sign a fat, out-of-shape center, they could have signed their native son, rapper Rick Ross, to fit the bill. You see that? I think I'm Big Meech. I think Rick Ross and Eddie Curry probably brothers some kind of way, man. I don't know. Maybe Michael Clark Duncan got something to do with that. Are you my daddy? Let's move on to third quarter. I'm a little tired, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to my man, Stan Crapper. And the third quarter is, can I make payment arrangement? Stan? Thanks, Lefty. This is Stan Crapper with your Can I Get Paid profile. The players, they want to be paid. The employees are sending you threatening emails. Bud Selig rejected the multi-million-dollar television deal, so you did what anyone would do. The L.A. Dodgers owner, Frank McCourt, bought himself what? Some time, and filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Since every cash-strapped owner should have a theme song, this 1987 song is your theme music, Mr. McCourt. That's right. Cool Mode D's hit. They want money. This Chapter 11 filing is in hopes that a federal judge will approve $150 million in financing from a hedge fund to be used for daily operation and advise Frankie some time to buy a better media deal. Now wait, this just in. All Dodger players and personnel will be paid in government cheese and food stamps. Can you say EBT? I'm Stan Crepper, and as always, how you like me now? Back to you, Lefty. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that, Stan. I needed that break. Fourth quarter. Money to blow. Now, guys, you talked about this a little earlier, but I will go on the record to say this was the worst NBA draft in my 30-some-odd years on this earth. It would have been better for team owners to just give the millions to Haiti or the Alabama and Missouri tornado victims. At least they would have seen a return on their investment. Now, the two highest drafted players, they're nothing but DeJuan Wagner and Ben Baker remixed. And we know how those careers ended. Now, I'll leave the analysis to you, Drew, and I'll leave the goody two-shoes optimism to you, Jers. Hell, with all the players drafted from overseas, I didn't know if I was watching the NBA draft or the cooking channel. I thought Cantor, Galanazusis, and Biombo were seasoning and spices. Hell, if you add a dash of Kimber, it sounds like I got a really good bowl of gumbo, huh?
Yeah.
The fact remains is, the kid that played 11 games was drafted first. The elastic in a fat woman's girdle is better battle tested than this dude was. Now look, Kyrie Irving will be just like Mateen Cleaves, Khalid El-Amin, DJ Augustine, TJ Ford. Good college player, but subpar pro player. Yet he'll be grossly, grossly overpaid. While, in my opinion, better four-year players, the Nolan Smith, the Sheldon Max, coming from great programs, were overlooked or even not looked at. Look, guys, that's my time. But before I go, I want to pose this one question to you, since you guys are the sports critic. You know, you're the expert.
Sure.
Are four-year college players being punished for staying? Or is the new trend just have a good couple of games and leave, or better yet, do an Ernest Cantor? Hell, don't even go to class. Just hang around the college campus and yell, pass me the rock. And go third in the draft. Now, I don't know, like I said, this draft, it gave me hemorrhoids. So I'm going to go ahead and give me some preparation H. You guys finish talking. And as always, my name is Lefty, and I'm always right.
Wow. Actually, you're always nuts, but that's okay. That's the Lepftee Report. That comes to you every Tuesday night at the top of the show. That's my man. He does his thing, man. I tell you, some interesting stuff, man. I kind of took some notes here, some stuff I want to kind of maybe address here. You know, of course, before we have Marcus on the show. If you listen to the show, don't be alarmed. It's still the Sports Kritik. Trust me, that's Lefty just kind of bringing a comedic twist to some things that we feel that's pretty funny in the sports world, because this show does get pretty serious sometimes. Trust me.